rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wassalatu wassalam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Fussilat, in the verses that will be recited shortly, He challenges us with a question. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala challenges us with a question. And He says the following, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala challenges us with the following question. He says, who is better than someone who calls to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and does good deeds and says that they are a Muslim? Who is better than him or her? You won't find anyone. That is the beauty and the richness of the Quran, that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala poses such a question, the answer is clear. There is no one better than someone who does that. They call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why is that so valuable? Why is that so praiseworthy? It's because when someone calls others to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are teaching them of a means to their sustenance, teaching them about someone subhanahu wa ta'ala who is able to provide them with what they need, who is able to cure any hardships, who is able to mend any broken heart. When we call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are calling to the best, we're offering the person the best thing that they can ever attain. And that is a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What more valuable thing can you provide someone, can you give to someone or teach someone about, than that there is the King of Kings who is listening to their prayers, listening to their calls, knows their needs, and is able to answer anything they ask for. What better thing can you offer someone than that? What better thing can you do for a family, for a society, for mankind, to establish a relationship between the individual and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What more can you offer? What better? What's out there that is better than this? Look at the results of such a endeavor. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what was the fruits of his efforts? He is the embodiment of calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the highest model of that. He is the representation of calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what was the fruits of his actions, of his efforts? What we see today. Billions upon billions of Muslims completely changed the course of mankind, built a civilization that was unrivaled during its time. And any technology that we find today, the sciences of today, were founded by who? By the fruits of this effort of calling people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who is better than the one who does good deeds? And in the beauty and the richness of the Quran, it says amal salih. The word salih, salaha, means to fix. That when someone does a good deed, and by good deed we mean, or what's meant is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to do, and what the Prophet ﷺ taught us to do. It restores, it fixes the individual. It fixes his or her environment. It fixes their family. It fixes society. Because when a person has principles, the Islamic principles, and they act upon it, it affects their surroundings, whether they realize it or not. But what they are doing when they do good deeds is they are fixing society, either directly or indirectly. And who is better than the one who says, I am a Muslim, I submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We submit to Him, and as the results of that is what we see in our time, the time of the Prophet ﷺ, for example, or any of the prophets. This verse gives us something very valuable to live our lives upon, and also to help understand other people. Who are the most noble, the most honorable humans to have ever walked this earth? The prophets. Why? Because they were the people who called to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After the prophets, who are the most honorable people? The companions. Why? Because they lived this. They continued the work of the prophets, alayhimus salatu wassalam. After the companions, who? The scholars. Who are the most popular figures in Islam? People like Imam al-Nawawi, like Imam al-Ghazali, like Ibn Taymiyyah. Why? Because they are people who called others to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the best of the best. And if we want to be like them, then we need to live lives that focus, that center around Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and call others to Allah. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those individuals who continue the work of the Prophets alayhi salatu wassalam, so that we can attain some of that honor and dignity and nobility in this life and the next life. Sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad.